Art of Knowledge, the 6th of 7 lessons in storyboard form. The conflict. No mind, body, spirit, nor any soul for that same embodied matter is able to comprehend, let alone grasp, anything beyond its own understanding. And that for sure is a given, which just so happens to be directly linked and tied to virtue, which wouldn't or shouldn't you know, wherein said comprehension is made manifest, whole, and complete in the grand scheme and tapestry of creation's unendingly unfolding story. Understand? In fact, does one have or even show any semblance of understanding? Besides, under the guise of recognizing hardships, plights, and or sufferings of others, if even, while overlooking those sowing same without same consideration, is inadequate and half lacking of compassion. For remember, they too are a product of their own upbringings, as we all are. So to those whom truly understand for knowing this and that, as in those who see the goodness nevertheless inherent within all beings, spirits, entities, and whatnot, instinctively filling and pouring their hearts out of mere or sheer kindness and love, indiscriminately, without bias or expectation, meaning trust, are given, can give, and do so because that is precisely the ways and means of procuring and securing even more of that which one needs to keep doing more of same. Not by another's bidding, mind you, obligation, responsibility, or trying to save the world per se, rather in doing one's own due diligence, good acts, deeds, and thoughts to the best of one's ability, as in simply being kind and friendly. Again, meaning be understanding towards one and all, whether or not one knows the story at all. That's all. For as was and is oft said, the truth is much stranger than fiction. And you can be damn sure that the extent to which anyone is willing to think, say, or do harm unto others is the level and degree to which they themselves have been harmed and are still suffering. Bottom line, emaciated skin of it, it ain't their fault. But it most certainly is if such misguided, misplaced manipulation is fostered or allowed to persist without question or redress. Not speaking up or out about wrongful conduct is tantamount to giving consent, hence emboldening and perpetuating more of same until either all hell breaks loose or we come to our collective senses again. Now then, that is when, where, and how success, peace, and prosperity are brought into being for us, to experience the fullness of a more purposeful and fulfilling life to share and share alike, and yet individually so, to be sure. One shall and will continue to meet self thusly, both directly from whence we find ourselves to through those whom we meet, however circuitously or vicariously perceived, again and again. Wait a minute and think about it for a second. Why and how else could, would, or should one learn from failed hopes and expectations, or disappointments when they arise in one's own life, if not on account of one's own role in somehow disappointing another, however lived and or meted out? Why and how else could, would, or should one be despitefully used, if not due to one's own internal issues, grudges, and or projected or real inflictions having been or being wrongfully directed towards another or others, whether in unkind thoughts, behaviors, or deeds? This and that is indeed the way and modus operandi of such cause and effect, karmic restitution, if you will, when and where one gets to reap what hath been sown in season of its own fruition. Like it or not, as so above, and wherever the mighty winds bellow and blow. And though the world may be backwards hurled along with the heavens unmade and cast into ye old abyss to have yet another pass or go at this, that is, creational's perpetual existence, that immutable law will always be an effect in effect, never ending nor ever changing, for like always likes to beget like, by and in all ways and means necessary, that which prepares, ripens, and bears the most precious fruits of spirit, as opposed to promoting decay or death per se, comes from knowledge used aright. That is, as long as one's purpose is not self-gratifying or falsely exalting, but rather in abiding alignment with the oneness of creation and creatures. And knowledge thereof is what assures the best results to one's success, both in this life and the next lives to be. Somehow, somewhere else lived for sake of further teachings and direction of same, of course. One's control, and therefore power in applying and employing the correct or true evaluation of knowledge cannot be overstated enough, nor ever overlooked, no matter what. If one knows but half the story, well, there ain't much more than that to begin with, or go on, as evidently hidden in plain sight behind a defensive mind. It's Psychology 101. Therefore, study, practice, and show the actual empirical, yea, pragmatic applications of that which is held to be and holds tried and true to you, as well as with others' points of view. For discord, distress, trouble, and the ill-fated like arise in one's activities and experience when and where there is doubt of any kind, which raises the so-called red flags, or begs to bring into question or test the veracity and sincereness of heart when it comes to one's understanding and consideration of another and or others in any and all situations and spheres of influence. Simply put, a kind thought, act, or deed under any trial or tribulation is what it takes to create the space, mood, or the vibe for attunement with the I am that you and I are. That which raises, makes, heightens, and hones others' awareness of the and reciprocation of same when so applied in the ever-abiding presence of creation's powerful inventiveness when one has themselves under such disciplined control. It's one's sacred duty. Does anyone even know, let alone understand, what sacredness implies and embodies? What is truly sacred in your ever-present life, most empirically speaking? Is it not in seeing the smile of loved ones in return? Is it not felt and smelt in the contemplative or pensive acts of a friend, stranger, or misperceived foe? Is it not experienced in trying times of trouble, sorrow, doubt, and struggle, when all it took or takes to turn things around from seeming to be so wrongful or wrong is hearing a mere word or phrase of praise and understanding and or acknowledgement? And is it not immediately tasted in the very foods, fruits, and berries of dearly beloved Mother Nature's bounties? Such knowledge in and of understanding is exactly what brings forth, bears, and propagates the greatest and most spiritual growth and development. And though one may turn to physical gratifications and worldly pleasures for entertainment and excitement's sake here and there, such euphoria doesn't last very long, for it's merely a chemical reaction and has nothing to do with anything spiritual or sacred, other than it being as a gift. So be ever mindful of respect, gratitude, and of course, not going overboard. So to overindulgingly speak. Get it? Get it?
Well,